You're tuning into the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, the only wrestling podcast covering WWE, AEW, and TNA. Let's get uncooked, uncorked, and uncensored.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Aunt C, joined by my own personal Hot Commodity Aunt B. And you are checking out our WWE Monday Night Raw recap from May 25th, 26th, 2025 in Tampa, Florida. It's a special Memorial Day episode of Monday Night Raw. Before we get into the show, what was your overall thoughts of it?
Where Saturday night's main event was?
Yeah, it was in Tampa too.
So they've been there for a while. What was my thought of Raw? It was good. It wasn't the greatest episode ever, but it was decent.
Yeah, it was.
I liked how they started off. The way they started off, it kind of gave me Attitude Era vibes.
And I liked a lot of the setting up for Money in the Bank and afterwards. So, kicking off Raw, we have Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and the newest member of this group, Bronson Reed. You can check out our recap of Saturday night's main event to find out why Bronson Reed is in the group. They're all weird. Well, Bronson and Breaker are wearing black suits and glasses. They're walking behind Seth, and Paul Heyman gets the microphone. He says, "Let's see the players. First, an attack dog, the badass in a true bloodline of badasses. The key to the future. If a Terminator was brought here, they would tell you Braun Breaker is it. That's not a prediction. That's a damn spoiler." And then he moves to the next person. He says, "CM Punk is not here, all thanks to Bronson Reed. WWE and top talent are afraid of him because he's a violent man in a PG era. He went after the future of the industry, Seth Rollins. In one night, Bronson Reed put a worse beating than Roman Reigns and CM Punk did combined. Get down and thank the heavens for the sacrifice Seth Rollins is willing to make for you all, so the trajectory of WWE in the future will be bigger. I give to you the future of this industry. Acknowledge Seth freaking Rollins." And then Seth gets the mic. He says, "I haven't changed. I told you what I was going to do at WrestleMania, and I did it. I would be World Heavyweight Champion if it wasn't for Sami Zayn and CM Punk. Tonight I have something more powerful than the championship. I will control the fate of the World Championship. I'm going to qualify and win Money in the Bank and cash in, but I can do it whenever, however, and to whomever, and I want. And there's no one that can stop me. That is total power." And then this group leaves. What do you think of this promo here?
I thought it was really good. I think that Seth Rollins has already won Money in the Bank, so we know he can do it. And it's probably, his best and maybe his only shot right now to get the world title. And I think he's going to get it. And, I mean, to fulfill his prophecy and be the revolutionary and visionary that he says he is, he needs to be the world champion.
Well, I liked how Paul Heyman explained the different groups and I explained the different members, and was just, explaining why they're important. And then Seth Rollins basically letting us know his plan. He wants to be in total control of WWE, and we'll see if he qualifies later on. Our first qualifying match for Money in the Bank, though, we have Penta versus Dragon Lee versus Chad Gable. And the Luchadors attack Chad Gable to start. Gable hits Penta with a German suplex, and then the Northern Lights bridge to Dragon Lee for a 2. Gable tosses Penta onto the announce desk. Dragon Lee dives, but Chad Gable moves, and Lee lands hard onto the desk. And then Chad Gable attacks Vikingo, who's at ringside. Gable hits a double German suplex, and then a moonsault to Penta for a 2. Chad Gable climbs the top rope, and Vikingo enziguris Chad Gable, and then Dragon Lee lands a double stomp in the corner. Penta hits a Mexican destroyer to Dragon Lee, and then a Penta driver to a bloody Chad Gable, and Penta now advances to Money in the Bank. So now we know, it's going to be Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, and Penta in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But they're making El Vikingo is going to be fighting Chad Gable at AAA Worlds Collide, so they were doing that to set that up. But what'd you think?
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, he was in like AEW for a bit, TNA. He's like a luchador and that travels around.
They were talking about Alberto Del Rio is really involved in this. I don't know what, but yeah, I mean the match was good, but I just honestly I don't think Penta was the right person. Like they're really pushing him. He's only been in the company like 2 or 3 months. He's already like had intercontinental title shots, and it's like, Chad Gable, I don't like him, but like he's been in the company a long time. They don't do anything with Dragon Lee anymore. Like I don't get why all these newcomers get Money in the Bank. I don't know. I would have liked to see Chad or Dragon Lee get it.
Mike drop. You're not a big Penta fan. That's okay.
I don't dislike him. I just think he's really overrated. I think that we already have like people in the company that are really good, like Dragon Lee, and they don't utilize them.
Okay, I can respect that. We then see Judgment Day backstage. Roxanne gives Dominik Mysterio some chicken nuggets and starts to rub his shoulder. And then the WWE one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, Liv Morgan, returns.
What?
And she says, Raquel's been updating me on what's been going on. But first, I'm going to qualify for Money in the Bank. And she goes, sister. And it was like really funny because it's like a Hocus Pocus callback. But Liv Morgan's back. And Dom looked very nervous. And Finn Bálor was smiling the entire time. So
Liv wasn't.
Well, she's back. We then get a very quick squash match. Rusev defeats Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree.
I had no idea.
I thought Tozawa was going to win. Rusev applies an accolade and Tozawa quickly taps out after Rusev keeps it applied until Sheamus comes out and faces off with Rusev, and Rusev backs down here. He leaves the ring. Rusev and Sheamus were a part of the League of Nations together. They are friends in real life, so they're eventually going to come to blows, and it's going to be a good match. But what'd you think?
I haven't really seen a lot with the two of them, but I when I saw Sheamus walk out, I was like, oh shit, because they're both big guys. Sheamus is awesome, so I think they're gonna have a banger for sure.
Sheamus looked nice in those fucking jeans, man.
He always does.
Next up, World Tag Team Champions The New Day defend against the War Raiders and the Creed Brothers in a triple threat match. Before the match starts, though, World Champion Jey Uso gives Sami Zayn a pep talk and tells him, you need to win, you're going to do this. Very quick moment there. Back to the match, though. The War Raiders attack both teams before the bell. Ivar crossbodies Kofi Kingston to the LED apron. And then as Julius Creed is throughout the match, New Day and the Creed brothers are working together, and then Xavier Woods kicks Julius Creed, rolls him up, and the New Day get a victory. Basic triple threat match here. I'm not a big fan of the New Day right now. I feel like they've been together for too long, and I want to see like the Creed brothers be tag champions because at least they're younger and new. I do like the War Raiders, and it was a decent match, but New Day's kind of steals it.
And the Creed brothers were all pissed, like New Day turned on them, and I get like they were working together, but what did they think they were gonna do? Like lay down and let them pin him? Like obviously he's gonna screw you over and pin you, duh.
Every man for themselves. World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso comes out and he talks about Money in the Bank, his match with he's teaming up with, who is he teaming up with? Oh my gosh. Cody Rhodes, sorry, there we go. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against John Cena and Logan Paul, but Gunther comes out and interrupts him. Gunther will be taking on Jey Uso on June 9th, the Raw after Money in the Bank. And Gunther talks and basically says that Jey is a transitional champion. He's not going to win. Jey says, I'm tired of people telling me that. I'm going to make you tap out again. And that's it. I mean, this is Jey Uso's storyline. Everybody that fights him, you can't do it. You can't be champion. I'm going to prove you wrong. And did it. Same promo for weeks and weeks. Nothing new. And it didn't make me excited at all for the rematch.
Yeah, they needed to come up with something different. I mean, granted, he's only had 2 title defenses, but or wait, was this his first? This was his first, but yeah, you're right. He's been on this kick a while. Need to do something different. They had something going where Gunther fucked up Jimmy, and he bled all over, and then they just kind of dropped that. So I don't.
It was just a lot of stupidity here with the rewording of the same fucking words every week. So we got Kairi Sane taking on the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan with her partner Raquel Rodriguez. Liv powerbombs Kairi off the apron to the floor. Kairi lands a flying forearm for a 2 count. Roxanne Perez then pushes Kairi Sane off the top rope, and Raquel argues with Roxanne. Liv goes for Oblivion, but Kairi Sane rolls up Liv, and Kairi Sane gets her first win on Raw in 5 years. It's the first time in 5 years that she's gotten a singles win, and I think Kairi deserved it. They had a really good match, but we go backstage, and Liv basically tells Raquel, "You're a veteran. You should have known better." And then we see Finn and Roxanne smiling. What do you think of the match and everything going on backstage and Liv and Raquel? Is this Finn's plan to break the Judgment Day? Because Roxanne was there smiling with Finn.
I think it very well could be, and the match was great. Kyrie should have definitely got the win. She didn't get really. She got pinned her first night back because of Zoe Stark getting injured. But I love Liv Morgan, and if every man in the world died, I would be with her. But she was wrong. It really wasn't Raquel's fault. So, and it wasn't Roxanne's either. So, she should have been paying attention in the ring. Liv, I love you, but I'm sorry.
I'm watching you talk as you do this. Ooh, you're so attractive. Yeah. But I do think that this is going to be fun to see the inclusion of Judgment Day. Next up, Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria. Kaka! Yeah, Lyra comes out, and she says, news broke. Bird Lady. News broke, and, ooh, that's my father calling. Anyways, news broke out, and Becky Lynch has begged and talked herself into a rematch for my championship at Money in the Bank. I've beaten her twice, and I'll do it again. Becky made it personal by getting in the face of my fiance. And then Becky Lynch comes out, and Becky says, I actually won that night because I got to go home to my hot husband, and you went to the hospital with your weirdo boyfriend. And that was funny because the boyfriend's fucking hideous. Like,
she couldn't have said anything better. It was awesome.
It was great.
She's like, I get Seth fucking Rollins, and look at your little curly-haired weird boyfriend.
Yeah, hobbit looking. Becky goes on to say, at Money in the Bank, if you win, I'll never challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship again as long as you're a champion. However, if I win, you have to look me in the eyes and raise my hand. Liv says, I've never had a problem raising the arm of someone who's better than me. It's just never been you. So, both of these ladies delivering strong words. I think they're going to have a good match. I said Liv. Oh, I meant Lyra. Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck about Lyra, so Liv is all the way. Well, sorry. Caca. Mother Bird. So, I think Bailey's going to be showing up in this match, but I do think Becky's going to win. I think Becky's going to win the match. Something's going to happen afterwards. Bailey's going to come out.
Like, come on. Unbelievable.
So, what do you think?
Becky better win, or I'm gonna have to jump in and help her because no, she's the man. I mean, come on, and we're talking about Bird Lady. Like, fuck her.
Maybe we can send an eagle after Bird Lady.
Go to a show and throw birdseed at her.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see it happen. Well, we've come to our main event, the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Finn Bálor versus Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman. All three men fight on the ramp. Seth lands a double springboard moonsault to the floor. Sami then lands a sunset flip powerbomb to Seth Rollins out of the corner. Sami hits Finn with a superplex, and Seth hits Sami with a frog splash. Seth then pedigrees both men. Bronson Reed attacks Sami Zayn on the floor, but Jey Uso attacks Bronson Reed here. And then Intercontinental Champion Dominik Mysterio comes out and pushes in a steel chair to Finn Bálor. As Finn goes to get the chair, Seth Rollins stomps the shit out of Finn Bálor onto the chair, and Seth Rollins gets the victory. Rollins will be competing in the Money in the Bank match. Afterwards, though, CM Punk's music plays. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are on the ramp waiting for Punk. Punk comes out from behind and hits a go to sleep to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins just drops to the floor crazily. I don't know if crazily is a word, but I think it is. What'd you think of this match and out?
Adjective form of crazy. I thought the match was really good. Seth Rollins had to win this match, or he would have looked ridiculous, pretty much. He's saying that he's going to take over and he's the future, and his first step is to win Money in the Bank. So if he lost it, he would have looked really bad. But I was glad Seth won. Um, I think that he is probably going to win Money in the Bank, and he will probably cash in.
Yeah, I think if he does win Money in the Bank, I don't know. He would be. That definitely is. I'm looking up to see what's gonna happen. Okay, so we finished covering Raw. So next week's Raw is gonna be from June 2nd in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Um, there's Tulsa. There's really nothing said about what's gonna happen for next week yet. I don't think. I'm checking really quick now to make sure. Yeah, nothing's been made for next week. Yeah, unless let me see.
Remember, they had a little thing.
Yep, they did have a little issue there. They did. I agree. Well, we've covered all this episode of Monday Night Raw. Decent episode. We've got more matches for Money in the Bank. We now know Becky Lynch will challenge Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We have WWE Champion John Cena and Logan Paul teaming up against World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. The Women's Money in the Bank ladder match has Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, and Julia in it so far. The men's have LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, and Penta. I think like 7 or 6. Yes, next week we'll probably get the final matches. I know on yeah, and then we do have on SmackDown Naomi, Jay Cargill, and Nia Jax qualifying, and there is, I know Jacob Fatu, Andrade, and oh my gosh, I think Ray Phoenix, I could be wrong, they're competing in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. I agree. I think Jacob will be in it too.
Um, at the beginning I thought Solo was going to get it, but I think it's going to be a toss up between Solo and Seth Rollins.
Well, there you have it. The hot commodities
I have spoken.
Well, we've covered all of Raw. I want to make sure you guys check out more of the Uncensored Pro Wrestling podcast. So go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Try our show.
Yeah, try out After the Bell. It's our first episode. We'll be doing more. Hopefully, it gets better as we go. You check us out if you want to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.